I'm late. How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm late. This is Cassandra-Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. I am the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Greetings, Lotus Flower. Greetings, One Perfected Love. Whew. Today is crazy. It's like I had to get up really, really early to run some errands with a friend. And it's been mild all summer. Today, it is hot like summertime. Like hot, hot. Mm. Anyway, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm a little tired today. I'm feeling a little sluggish. I think it's the heat because we spent all day out in the heat. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm not going to waste much time. People will come in. Hey, Letitia. People will come in when they come in, but I think I'm just going to get right to it. I spent almost 2.5 hours yesterday doing the read, and then my little commentary added to it. Took up a lot of time. And yesterday was really heavy. This morning was even heavier. Oh, nice. No, it is Release Heart Center at Gmail. Release Heart Center at Gmail. Lotus Flower. But I want y'all to do me a favor and send positive thoughts, prayers, and meditations for my family. I got 2 calls today that was it today? No, it was yesterday. That have worn me out a little bit. Kind of emotionally. I think that's why I'm feeling so burdened. The heat is not helping, but my daughter was in a pretty serious car accident yesterday. And then shortly after that, I got, some news from my mom and her health that is, concerning. So just do me a favor wherever you are. Just speak my mother's name, Jacqueline Futch, and my daughter's name, Morgan Floyd. Speak their names with powerful prayer, meditation, healing for the both of them. And just do that for me. Okay? Yeah, it was kind of a double whammy yesterday. And I tried not to, anyway. So it was a lot. My granddaughter was in the car with her, my daughter. So just speak Kalani's name too. Kalani Rhodes, Morgan Floyd, Jacqueline Fudge. Speak their names, positive prayers, affirmations. Thank you. Ooh, it's hot in here, man. The heck? Anyway, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and read. For those that are joining, you know what it is. Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. There we go. So we're just going to pick up where we left off yesterday, which had me in my feelings, y'all. That last paragraph we read yesterday, I'm telling you, I was in my feelings for a minute. You understand? Sure was. I'm tempted. I'm gonna go ahead and read it again. But y'all just know I got some shit coming down the pipe. This book has got me on one. What I need to do is find a writer's retreat or something like that where I can take some time off in a setting with other writers or something. Yes, yeah. Well, I'm gonna read that last paragraph, Lotus Flower, since you missed it, cause boo. So far, it was the coup d'etat. You feel me? Let's see. So, the closer a woman is to hearing, speaking of the archimage, the more accurately she senses the shakiness of the sublimed identities foisted upon her. Shaky means, quote, marked by insecurity or instability, likely to fall or be overthrown, child. Precarious. It means lacking in firmness of beliefs, principles, or allegiance. Unsettled. It means somewhat unsound in health. When in touch with the source of stability within, women recognize that symptoms of shakiness are caused by the principal archetypal assaults. The remedy is unrelenting understanding. She said unrelenting understanding, baby. Hold on. Let me pull out my pens and shit. Baby. She say the only remedy is the unrelenting understanding that stamina is stronger than the verbiage of the reverberators, and that speaking and breathing forth elemental words and actions is it itself the creation and communication of stamina, which is the living thread of conversation spun by the fates. Since fate is derived from fere in Latin, meaning to speak, the very name fates, says speakers, naming our way beyond verbicide, which is deeply connected to gynocide. We are creators of our own fates, becoming fates. Oh, 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 oh. Child, look. The arch image as metaphor. I have said that in the Middle Ages, the symbol of Mary was highly charged to such an extent that she represented an extreme, though veiled, as it were, threat to maledom. Oh, y'all ain't heard. That's why Protestants were mad, by the way. That's why Protestants were mad. Because Mary represented a threat to maledom. You understand? Did y'all watch the movie what's wrong with my brain? Where with Tom Hanks, where he is it's based on a book. The second portion of it was Angels and Demons. The first part was I don't remember. Whatever. I don't remember. To some extent, translucent, allowing the light. To some extent, translucent, allowing the light of the archimage to shine through into women's consciousness. This image not only malfunctioned as archetype, but even functioned as arch-image of elemental powers. At this point, it is important to reflect upon the meaning and roles of images. Images cannot be understood merely as static, reified things. In the case of powerful images, the reverse is quite true. Thus, the image of Mary is an operational image. This means that the function of the arch image as conduit of archimagical powers was to inspire in women acts of knowing and passion, causing women to participate in such powers. That is, she has functioned as metaphor, connecting women to some extent with ancient racial memories. Nevertheless, I would call the arc image a faded and broken metaphor, for she has been opaque as well as translucent, distorting as well as illuminating. As tamed and possessed goddess, she could not elicit exuberant wonderlust, as could an untamed metaphor of meta being. Um, Rather, her messages have been covert, like hidden agendas. Um, they have been conveyed stealthily, as in coded whisperings. Her tattered reminders of divinity have been glimpsed, as it were, by peripheral vision. Ooh, indeed. The more she has been officially exalted, the more she has been, officially exalted, the more muted has been her message as metaphor, carrier of meta being. Cloaked and veiled in sublime splendor, she has served the Sato state as a decoy, distracting women from our own true being, while at the same time conveying subliminal messages of our archimagical origins. Yeah, oh, woo, child. Listen, I'm gonna read that whole little passage again. That's hot. As tamed and possessed, let's see. Nevertheless, I would call the arc image of Mary a faded and broken metaphor, for she has been opaque as well as translucent, distorting as well as illuminating, as tamed and possessed goddess, she could not elicit exuberant wonderlust, as could an untamed metaphor of metabeing. Rather, her messages have been covert, like hidden agendas. They have been conveyed stealthily, as in coded whisperings. Her tattered reminders of divinity have been glimpsed, as it were, by peripheral vision. Indeed, the more she has been officially exalted, the more muted has been her message as metaphor, carrier of metabeing. Cloaked and veiled in sublime splendor, she has served the Sato state as a decoy, distracting women from our own true being, while at the same time conveying subliminal messages of our archimagical origins. Damn. As our archimagical origins. Like, like the messages transmitted by the countless mothers possessed by goddamn. For y'all, for those of you who are joining this reading late, or this is your first time hearing this reading, baby, when she talked earlier, I think it was, thank you so much, Letitia. Thank you so much. Thank you. When she talked in the introduction about how what is required, I'm gonna have to go back to the quote. When she goes off about what is required for pretty much saving the planet is a global exorcism of patriarchal madness. Baby, when I tell you, I felt that in my spirit. My ancestors felt that. You understand? Oh my God. Oh shit. She said, like the messages transmitted by the countless mothers possessed by patriarchy, y'all, who have given double messages of encouragement towards autonomy and discouragement to their daughters. Yo. The arc image has been charged with metaphoric force, and at the same time, she has been frustratingly faded. Nevertheless, for many hundreds of years in Western culture, this faded and broken image has been for women the primary conduit to, oh my God. Nevertheless, for the many hundreds of years in Western culture, this faded and broken image has been for women the primary conduit to powers of being. Woo! When I tell y'all, listen. In the cultural wasteland of the Sado Sublime, in which women have been subsisting spiritually on starvation rations, in which in the cultural wasteland of the Sado Sublime, in which women have been subsisting spiritually on starvation rations, this arc image was the only signal of hope. She talking about the Virgin Mary, y'all. The only signal of hope. This cultural phenomenon has affected, at least indirectly, all women in Western society. For this reason, it is of inestimable importance that we try to understand it. The arc image and the hate of the impotent priests. The cognitive emotional charge of the arc image can be understood only if she has been as connected with the elemental knowledge, passion of real women. If there had not been lusty women who were surviving even under the horrors of Christian rule, women gifted with psychic and healing powers, living in harmony with the elements, the charge would have faded completely. If there had not been women who were in touch with the deep ancestral memories and therefore with expectations of a fatal reawakening of female powers, the arc image would have failed entirely to reflect the archimage. All of this has been problematic for the paternal puppeteers, for the arc image would be of no use to them if she retained no charge at all. At the same time, she was potentially inflammatory and dangerous, like a tokenized woman who still has sparks of herself. The dynamics inherent in the father's dilemma deserve some shrewish attention, for the present tokenization of women in some ways reflects the same paternal dilemma and the same strategies designed to maintain control. To understand these patriarchal strategies, it is important to see something of the content of the charge of the Mary image, which is multidimensional. She is cosmic, the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, according to Revelation 12:1. As As Marina Warner has observed, the depictions of Mary are similar to those of Isis, who in Hellenistic Egypt was an astral divinity and who by the 2nd century BC had acquired characteristics that associated her with Diana and other classical sky goddesses, end quote. This planetary symbolism was devoured by the church. The moon was first identified with the church and then, by analogy, with the Virgin Mary. By the Middle Ages, the Virgin had acquired the lunar imagery previously applied to the church. Mary was also associated with the water element. Warner writes, quote, In the thought of late antiquity, the light of the moon not only dispelled the shadows of night, but also had all-important life-giving powers. The grace of God, mediated through Mary, as the light of the sun reflects off the disk of the moon, also gives life and quickens and nourishes and purifies like water. Thus, the imagery of light was intimately associated with the imagery of water, itself the foremost image of grace, end quote. Thus, Mary, as Christian reflection of the lunar deity, is mistress of the waters. But Mary is associated not only with the moon, but also with other heavenly bodies. Known as the star of the sea, she is the light bearer. Holy fucking shit, y'all. I should just tell y'all, Mary Daly was a theologian. She went to seminary school or some shit. She got her master's degree or her PhD in theology and Christian theology. Like, so she went into the belly of the beast to expose all their dirty little rotten secrets. Oh my God, y'all. Listen, she said Mary is associated not only with the moon, but also with other heavenly bodies, known as the star of the sea. She is the light bearer, child. She is the light. Oh, she is the light bearer. She is not only the pole star, the gate of heaven. Oh, damn. But she is also the morning star, which the Babylonians associated with the sky goddess Ishtar. As star, she burns and burns, but is never consumed. She is thus associated with the element of fire. Since, in addition, the Virgin Mary is mother, she also represents Earth, the universal genetrix. Clearly, then, the arch image is connected with all of the elements. Oh my God. Hold on. I just had a thought. Oh shit. Yo, oh my God. Damn. Oh, God damn. Second, in addition, the Virgin Mary is mother. She also represents Earth, the universal genetrix. Clearly, then, the arch image is connected with all of the elements. Her charge is cosmic and elemental, though muted. Thus, the metaphoric words, gate of heaven. Oh my God. Yo. Damn. Listen, y'all. Oh my God, y'all. I need to tell y'all a story. Damn, I said I was not going to do this, but I need to tell y'all a story. I have to figure out a way to tell this story better. I haven't been good at telling this story, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you something about the intricate purposefulness, the foresight required, the knowing without knowing that has to happen in order for prophecy to be fulfilled. Do you understand what I just said? The intricate, extraordinary purposefulness, the intimate, intricate knowing. Where does the knowing come from? Even if consciously we do not know. Where does the knowing come from? Does it come from abstraction? No. When I talk to you about how the In Ifa tradition, we talk about the Egun, which people simplistically say is our ancestors. That's not what Egun is. The Egun is an understanding of the collective power of the unseen that rests in the possession of those that came before us, our ancestors. It's not just, quote, our ancestors. It is all the contributions spiritually, energetically, physically, psychologically. That becomes the pool of power that you have at your disposal to pull from on your behalf in the material realm. Did I just tell you I'm having a moment? I just told you guys yesterday why the reading yesterday fucked me up so bad. Because it is that moving in harmony with spirit. Even though you may not be able to consciously see ahead, moving in concert, moving in harmony with spirit, with your ancestors, with your spirit guides, whatever it is that moves you or leads you, or whatever it is you give articulation to, that collection of entities that you know is rallying on your behalf, right? It is to move in concert with recognizing that the only thing that can occur is the great goddamn unfolding. Let me tell you something. A year and a half ago, through much opposition on my part, I changed my name. Not only did I change my name back to my birth name, back to the name my mother consecrated my goddamn crown with, but I also, in recognition of my father's line and all of the matriarchs of my father's line, I also took the name, the Daughter of the Fates, which is the paternal name of the males in my father's line, all the way back to my great-great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my grandfather, my oldest uncle, and then my dad wanted a boy. My dad was the youngest, wanted a boy, didn't have no boy, so he gave his firstborn daughter the middle name Faye as a nod to the lineage of Fates in my line. So I call myself the Daughter of the Fates. Those that came before me, the Fates. And so the meeting yesterday fucked me up, when she talked about the role of the Fates. When she talked about, because also my dad was obsessed with Greek mythology, which is why I have my first name in the first place. My name is Cassandra. My dad loved Greek mythology. So it was right in line, this name that he gave me. My mama consecrated the name, but my daddy gave me the name. He gave me the name Cassandra. He gave me the name Faye, right? And then I took his last name because that's what you do. You feel me? But my father was a Christian zealot who loved Greek mythology. My mother was a scientist. She was an artist, but my mother's brain is very scientific. She's always been scientifically and mathematically genius. Who knew that these two Christian zealot young people who met by being forced by their parents into a Christian end of the world cult would meet and have a baby at the age of 17, and this baby, 47 years down the line, 46 years down the line, would call herself the Daughter of the Fates, would raise up the name Cassandra as the oracle, she who sees, she who speaks the future, she who illuminates mankind, she who defends humanity. This is the name that my parents gave me, y'all. And so yesterday, after this whole, and baby, I was told in ceremony, I was in ayahuasca, child, fighting for my motherfucking life in ayahuasca ceremony when spirit said, bitch, Iapo has served you well. There was something that you needed from your life as Iapo. Now it is time to raise up the name that your father gave you and that your mother consecrated in her own goddamn blood, because there's something there for you. So I take this name and I call myself the daughter of the Fates. Baby, when we read what we read yesterday about what the responsibility is of women to re-become the Fates, using our words, reclaiming language to continue to weave the future into existence by speaking, God damn, to continue to remember the craft inherent in our existence as the weavers of the future that we cannot see, but we weave anyway. Listen, knowing that when we speak together, what did I say? When we breathe together, and when we speak together, we are doing so. Why? Because we know that the act of breathing and speaking together ensures a desired result. I told y'all that what, 5 months ago? That conspiracy actually means the breathing together and speaking aloud together to ensure a certain result, certain as in going to happen, certain. And then we come back here yesterday. I have never read this book. I'm reading this book together with y'all right now. And we come here and we read one paragraph where she says what? That the only remedy to that which has destroyed women or attempted to destroy women, the only remedy is the unrelenting understanding that stamina is stronger than the verbiage, those spells that have been spoken on us, the verbiage of the reverberators, and that breathing and speaking forth elemental words and actions itself is the creation. That the breathing and speaking of fourth elemental words and actions is itself the creation and communication of stamina, which is the living thread of conversation spun by the Fates, since fate is derived from fairy, meaning to speak. The very name Fates means speakers, naming our way beyond verbicide, which is deeply connected to gynocide, the murder of women. We are creators of our own fates, thus becoming the Fates. Listen. So here we go. Fast forward to the paragraph. I'm having a whole ass moment, because listen, that shit comes up. It comes up in me. I am confronted with it all the time. The ghost of my past, the ghost of my childhood, steadily chomping away at the bit in my ear. Who you think you are to be doing this shit? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Little chubby, boyish acting, tomboy, fat black girl. Who do you think you are to be making this charge? Who do you think you are to be making this call, child? Who do you think you are? This last paragraph that we just read, this is the story I want to tell you. Because it wasn't about my name. That's part of it. Because yesterday gut punched me. I'm beside myself right now. The first time I ever did ayahuasca was on November 1st, 2021. Was it 2021? No, 2020. November 1st of 2020. The night before, I had gone to this masquerade ball in Orlando in honor of the goddess Oya. The next morning, early in the morning, I get a call from a friend. I'm driving my daughter's car from Florida to California. That's what my plan is. But I was like, let me go ahead and get my worship on with the goddess. You feel me? They had this massive Oya festival in Orlando. I was like, yes, this is what we gonna do. before I get on the road to drive to California. My homeboy from Atlanta calls me and is like, yo, I'm facilitating the ayahuasca ceremony at my home. You need to come. I'd already said I was never doing ayahuasca because the only people I ever heard talking about ayahuasca was white folks. I wasn't really interested in going to no space and doing ayahuasca with white people. So I was like, I guess it ain't for me. You feel me? This brother calls me and is like, we're doing ayahuasca. Get here as soon as you can. I'm 6. I was like, that's a hell of a detour, brother. I'm on my way to California. He was like, bitch, make the detour. Come to my house. We doing ayahuasca tonight. Get here tonight. So I drove 6 hours to Atlanta to do ayahuasca with this African. And that ceremony changed my whole fucking life. It changed my whole life. It was crazy. It was intense beyond imagining, but it changed my whole life. There's one thing that I want to tell you because streamline shit. I could write a whole book on that one ceremony of ayahuasca. However, I want to tell you one thing that happened ceremony. Hold on, I'm having some funky ass issue with my I'm telling you this. I don't know how to resolve this, and it's irritating. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you one story that happened with this ceremony that is directly related to this paragraph I just read to you guys. When I went upstairs, first of all, when I was downstairs, I had this moment because when you do ayahuasca, you purge, and the purging ain't always vomiting. It's everything. You purge everything. And there was this moment where I purged so huge. I'm not trying to ghost you out, but I'm just telling you what it is. I was in this man's kitchen, bent over the kitchen sink, trying to catch my breath. I just came back from his bathroom and I was walking back to the area where we were doing ceremony, and something came over me and I grabbed the sink and I was like, this can't happen. This cannot happen. Because I'm hearing loud in my head what spirit is trying to say. I was like, this can't happen. This can't happen. You understand? Do I still have free will? Is my body still my own? Then I say this can't happen, right? All of a sudden, it felt like the top of my head opened up, like open, just like that, and it felt like something came down into me, and it was so huge that it took up every square inch of space in my goddamn body. And at the moment that this came into me and took up all this space, it was like it came in and moved everything out of the way that wasn't purposeful, that didn't serve. Everything moved out of the way. And when I say everything, at the moment that I felt this, whatever it was, it felt like an entity came into the top of my fucking head and took up space in my whole body, like a massive white light in my whole body. I purged from everywhere. I purged from my nose, from my eyes. I'm crying. My nose is running. I'm projectile vomiting, and I am shitting and pissing all at one time in this man's kitchen. Everything. As I'm screaming through vomit. I'm not joking. When I say I shit and piss and vomited everywhere, like everything moved out. And when that happened, I became so clear. So clear. It is indescribable. I became so clear. And it scared the shit out of me. It did. I was convinced I was going to get abducted by aliens that night. I ain't lying. I was like, this shit is next level. These motherfuckers are coming to get me tonight. Okay. I went out in the front yard because after I did that, after I shit and pissed and fucking vomited everywhere, I was like, because spirit kept telling me, you are still too much in your head. You are still too much in your head. You are trying to control the process. That's what I kept hearing. You are trying to control the process. You are still concerned. You are still concerned about how you feel and how you look. Listen, Spirit was like, bitch, I need you to completely let go. And the only way you're going to do that is to move everything out of the way. So now I wasn't trying to be cute, get up and go to the bathroom. Every time I went to the bathroom, I felt like I was breaking ceremony. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? And when that shit came over me, I came in that man's kitchen. I came out of all my clothes. I was like, well, that's it. I came out of all my clothes. I went into this man's front in downtown Atlanta, in his man's front yard, laid on the grass in the front yard because I knew they was coming to get me. I knew I was about to be abducted by aliens, yo. I swear. But anyway, I don't want to get off on the diatribe. I'm telling you, I could write a whole book about that one ayahuasca ceremony, right? But I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I went back into the house. I'm standing by the kitchen where this happened. I said, I called the brother's name who was facilitating. I was like, look, because he was going off. Here he is supposed to be securing me. Here he is supposed to be like, you know, taking care of me. I ain't never did the shit. This is his thing. You feel me? He going off. He is laughing. He is yelling. He is screaming. And it's fucking me up. It's fucking me up. You understand? And so I'm calm. I said, I want to tell you something. I said, the mother has a message for you, baby. He was like, really? What? I said, the mother says that the only reason you are here right now in this moment, that everything you have been doing for the last 7 years has led to this moment, that the only reason you are here is to bear witness to God giving birth. He was like, what? I said, I'm just telling you what they said. I don't mean I'm the one giving birth. I ain't doing it. I'm at war with spirit, baby. I'm battling spirit in this ceremony. I'm like, I ain't giving birth to shit. I ain't doing it. Right? So I'm like, I'm ready to come out of ceremony. I'm ready for this shit to be over. You feel me? I go upstairs. I'm turning on all the lights. I'm breaking the vibe. I'm trying to come out of ceremony. I got my music playing. I'm like, look, I'm talking to spirit like I'm talking to y'all. I'm like, look, I hear what you're talking about. It's flattering. I see this little thing you're doing where you're trying to big me up. You're trying to flatter me and shit. It ain't working. Because what you're talking about right now, I ain't doing. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving birth to shit. Spirit tells me, Cassandra, for 5 years, you have been talking online to people, telling people this period represents the moment. This period that we're in represents the time. Represents the time. We represent the birth of the new age. I was like, well, I didn't know you meant like literally. I thought the shit was a metaphor. I kept hearing we're giving birth to the new age. I kept talking about how we are the midwives for the new age, for the birthing of the new age. And Spirit was like, well, what the fuck did you think you was talking about? I said, well, I didn't think the shit was literal. You got me out here pissing and shitting and sitting in this man's motherfucking floor talking about giving birth. And then you let some entity come in the top of my motherfucking head. Like, no, I didn't sign up for this. But let me tell you what my prayer was before I went into ceremony. When the facilitator tells you, you focus on what it is you need answers to, or you want to hear or whatever. I said, my prayer and meditation was, I want to remember why I chose this life. It's not clear. I'm tired of saying ambiguous things like, I know I'm supposed to change the world, but it is not clear. I want to know. I want to remember why I chose this life. Show me everything. And Spirit went to work on my fucking ass that night. So I'm sitting in covered in shit, in piss and vomit in this man's bathroom with the light on, trying to force myself out of ceremony. I got my phone in my hand, and I'm trying to play the most crunk trap music I can find to come out of ceremony. I'm not lying, y'all. A fly on a wall, child. This shit could have been a movie. I am doing everything possible to come out of ceremony. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You can say it what you said, and I don't want to hear it. Now listen to what Spirit said. Spirit said, we are not making you do anything. You still have free will. Your ass was the one that said you wanted to remember, that you wanted to see and remember why you chose this life. And here it is, butt naked. This is what you signed up for. Even in signing up for it, you have a choice. Even in signing up for it, even accepting it before you came here, you still have a choice. You still have a choice. I was like, I just didn't know this is what it was. This was what I was being called to. But of course you didn't know. That's why you sought out the medicine. That's why we put it in your path. Even though you said you was never going to do ayahuasca, we made it so that it could happen for you effortlessly. This wasn't an accident. This is the weaving of the tapestry. This is how it unfolds. This is how the strands cross and connections are made. Spirit told me, who do you think Mary was? When I said, you're talking about the birth of a new age and this and that and the other, I didn't know you meant literally. I didn't know you meant I was supposed to be up in here giving birth to some entity or some shit. Spirit said, bitch, who do you think Mary was? I was like, I don't understand. Spirit said, bitch, who do you think Mary was? I just told you downstairs to tell that man downstairs to shut the fuck up and bear witness to God giving birth. That his only role down there was to witness what was about to happen to you, so that he as man could communicate to other men where they would not hear it coming from you. She said, who do you think Joseph was? Joseph was the deaf mute in the manger with Mary, and his only job was to bear witness, not to God being born. Y'all got the story fucked up. Wasn't for him to bear witness to God being born. It was for him to bear witness to God giving birth. To God giving birth. And then for him to go out into the world and tell others what he had the honor of witnessing. She said, who the fuck do you think Mary was? Mary was God. Mary was mother giving birth, ushering in the birth of the new age. That's all. It is a metaphor. If God, as Christians know it, is the Son, the S-U-N, the S-O-N, if it was Jesus in the goddamn manger, you understand? God gave birth to God because God can only be born of God. God can only be born of God, and only God can give birth to the new age. Listen, this is my walk in ayahuasca. Only God can give birth to the new age. And my response, I'm mind blown. I'm like, oh my God, I'm mind blown by what is happening. You understand? She said, Mary gave birth to the new age, the Piscean age, personified in the sign of Pisces as the sun, the S-O-N and the S-U-N, in the new age. The new age didn't just emerge. There was pain that accompanied it. There was the resistance to change that accompanied it. Mary, as God, gave birth to the new age. That's who she was, even as her importance was fucking disappeared from the histories, you see. And so I'm fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, well, who am I? And that's what I'm telling Spirit. After Spirit told me that you asked us, tell you to remember, show you why you chose this life. We telling you. That's all we can do is tell you what you signed up for. I'm like confused. You understand? I was like, but why me? This, what you're talking about is enormous. What you are talking about is so radical that it will change everything for forever. Why me? Why would I choose this? And Spirit says to me, no, I say, why me? I said, why not? I'm telling y'all I'm not lying. I said, why me? I ain't nobody. I'm not nobody. I said, why not get somebody that can actually spread a bigger message and set this shit the fuck off? I said, why not Beyonce? She a priest in the tradition. She's a priestess of the Oshun. She already in the tradition. She already know the stilo. She got billions of dollars and shit. Like, why can't it be somebody like Beyonce? I'm not lying. I'm talking out loud to Spirit in this man's bathroom. And Spirit was like, because she ain't the one who signed the contract, bitch. You did. You did. And she could not communicate to the many what you have a responsibility to communicate to the many. What Spirit told me in response to that shit was that Mary had to have the experience that she had. Mary is still a metaphor. I want y'all to be clear. She still had to have the experience that she had to be abused by humanity, to be on the run for humanity's disdain, even as her only purpose in the world is to evolve humanity, is to help humanity move into the future. She had to be abused. She had to be mistrusted. She had to be chased, threatened, murder for this thing that she was about to give birth to that was going to change every fucking thing. Armies sent after her because of this thing that was in her body that was guaranteed because of the knowing without being able to see that what she held in her was going to change everything for forever. She had to be laid bare in that motherfucking manger with animals and shit, giving birth to God. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this was November 1st, 2020. This interaction that I have with Spirit that changed me for fucking ever. When I said, look, I want to know everything. I want to know it all. I want to see it all. I want to remember why I chose this life, why I chose my parents. I want to remember. And Spirit had a lot to say, baby. I was in ceremony, but usually ayahuasca lasts about 4 hours, 5 hours tops. I was in ceremony for 8.5 hours. Get my ass handed to me. You understand? She said, listen, you tell them only God can give birth to God. God can only be born of God. And that any male that says that he is in any way in alignment with this process, it is his responsibility in this time, in this life, to be still, to be quiet, and sit in the awe and the majesty of what is to become, so that he can do nothing but bear witness and communicate it to others who cannot hear from the mouth of the mother right now. I'm just telling you. And so when I read this passage, y'all, about Mary as a Christian reflection of the lunar deity, but not only as the lunar deity, Mary as the mistress of the waters, but not only the mistress of the waters, Mary as the star of the sea, but not only as the star of the sea, Mary as the light bearer, but not only as the light bearer, Mary as the gate of heaven, the only way that God can become flesh. But not only as the gate of heaven, Mary as the morning star. But not only Mary as the morning star, who is the prehistoric goddess Ishtar, the queen of heaven. She is associated with the element of fire. But not only the element of fire, what does she say? Clearly then, as the Virgin Mary, the mother to us all, she is also representative of the earth element, but not only of the generative power of matter in the material realm that we know as earth. Not only her charge is the cosmic and elemental, huh? But clearly, as the arch image, she is connected with all of the elements. She is. Now, let me just tell you why this is important and why I'm shook. Just told you a story about we, as the weavers of time, every one of us, as the weavers of time, us as the fates, and how perfectly, beautifully aligned it was that my parents chose my name. But not just that, that the first fate in my family understood, even though he did not know and could not see, that there was a significance in naming his son Fate, and that son naming his son Fate, and that son naming his son Fate, and my fucking father, who was the baby, saying, I want to carry on this tradition of the Fates. So when I have a boy child, I'm going to name him Fate. But he didn't have no boys. He had a girl. He had two girls. But mom, the oldest. And he was like, well, I guess the tradition of the Fates is going to end with my daughter, whose middle name I will call Fate in honor of the fates of my family. And so he named me Cassandra, the oracle, she who sees the future, she who illuminates mankind, she who is the defender of humanity. Huh? She who is the unbelieved seer, Cassandra. And I'm going to give her the middle name Faye, which means fairy in Latin, but also is the nod to the fates. I'm going to give her this name because she's going to remember. He didn't know that. He was a Christian. He couldn't see that. He was still a weaver. Do you understand? He was a part of the grand tapestry because his mother is a seer. Her sisters are witches. They don't know that they are witches. They are still weavers. Their power still exists, even if they are not aware, even if they cannot see. To read this book, to have my life, and all random seemingly. I was a junkie. I had only been clean for 2 years when I decided to go to medical school. To go into a system of medicine where then I learn and practice 5 elements theory. That's what I practice. Before I became a spiritual woman, when I was an atheist for 12 years, when I was an atheist practicing 5 elements theory, to come to this moment where I'm reading a single paragraph about the image of Mary, and her functionality is all elemental, represented as Venus, the queen of heaven, who is represented by the 5-point star. Y'all ain't having a whole goddamn moment recalling this conversation that I had with the spirit of the mother as personified by all the mothers. Everybody was on deck in my ayahuasca ceremony. Everybody was on deck. Everybody was on deck. As one, as singular and many. To be sitting up in this motherfucking man's floor, going to battle with spirit. Every song that came on my phone where I was trying to distract myself out of ceremony, every single song they spoke to me through. Every single one. Every single one. They kept saying this song called Moana by Sampa the Great came on while I was in ceremony. And I was like, oh shit, that's my jam. And as soon as it started playing, and I was like, oh, because I'm trying to turn up to come out of ceremony. As soon as I said, oh, that's my shit, I hear, do you think that is an accident that this is the song that's playing right this moment? Don't you know that when she wrote this song, she did not know, she could not see, but she wrote this song for this moment. She wrote this song for you right now, for this moment. Every song that you have ever heard was written for you and about you, because you need everything that has made up the tapestry of your existence. The artist didn't know in the act of creating that this was their purpose. Y'all ain't here, man. Y'all ain't here. Y'all ain't here. Oh, shit. Anyway, clearly then, the arch image is connected with all of the elements. Her charge is cosmic and elemental, though muted. Thus, the metaphoric words, the gates of heaven, as applied to Mary, cannot carry the female speaker listener through the gate, which of course is guarded by the male sublimers of this convoluted scenario. What is the gate of heaven? What's the gates of heaven? What is the gates of heaven? It is your vagina. The palace of heaven is your uterus. What did I just tell y'all yesterday? About how I what did I just tell y'all yesterday? About how I taught this workshop that I need to reteach, that it could be a whole weekend on the mysteries, on the magic and mysteries of the lower palace, the uterus. The uterus is the palace. The gates of heaven is the portal through which the finalization of you as spirit is made when you are transformed officially into matter. The gates of heaven. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all a story a few months ago about the path of unknowing. That the reason undisrupted vaginal birth is so important, especially in Indian culture, as my Ayurvedic teacher, my Ayurvedic master told me, was that because we are omnipotent when we are in utero. We are still connected to the universe. We are still ancient old beings with a memory of our entire past life. Time as we know it still does not exist when we are in utero. We still have a memory of every past life and every relationship in those past lives. We still remember everything that has happened on earth in those past lives. While we're in utero, we are still ancient while we are in utero. And that the pain of childbirth, the going through and the squeezing and contorting of the head through the birth canal has been known for thousands of years as the path of unknowing. It is the pain and the pressure on the head of the child that disengages the crown chakra, where we store our conscious present memories. And through the crowning process, where the top of our head appears or emerges, those conscious memories of our ancient self and our past lives are then forced into our subconscious mind, reemerge as street signs on the highway to the fulfillment of our destiny. That's what deja vu is. It is a street sign in the darkness, in the unknown, that says, oh yeah, you're still on the right track. That's what deja vu is. It is our subconscious memories of everything that we are and have been through, functioning as big as green and white street markers, freeway markers, 100 miles to your destination, 300 miles to your destination. And even though the headlights on your car can only allow you to see about 20 feet in front of your car into pitch black, you still keep driving forward into the unknown, into the unseen, because you are constantly getting reminders that you are in right way. You're still on the track to the fulfillment of your destiny. You're still on the road to destination. This is what the path of unknowing allows us to do, not to flail about in this existence blind with no insight. That's what Christianity wanted you to do, is to forget your inner voice, is to ignore deja vu, is to ignore your dreams. Where do you think your dreams come from? They always been there. They're your memories. They are your memories in your subconscious mind, there to protect you, there to guide you through the path of unknowing. Through the path of unknowing. All we need do is to be, and to be in right way, and to be in right order, and to accept divine intervention when it happens. What is divine intervention? That moment where a strand of the two strands of the tapestry cross, a connection is made, and you feel it in your body as a confirmation or as a warning. That's what it is. When people talk about the synaptic activity of the brain, that every time you learn something new, what happens? Two unrelated synapses make a connection, just like the crossing of the strands of the great, grand, beautiful tapestry that we are all participating in weaving together. It is not an accident. This is so goddamn powerful. I am beside myself right now. Venus is represented by the 5-point star. The 5-point star defines the work that I do for a living, how I make my money, which Venus runs as what? The queen of heaven. That's what she is. What is she? She's the light bearer. That's what she is. What is Venus? She is Lucifer. That's what she is. What is Venus? She is the god of the morning. What is she? She is the star of the morning. Huh? What else is she? What else do they call her? The light bearer. She's the light bearer. My name means she who illuminates mankind. Child, we listen. We can no longer afford to mute, play down, ignore, make light of who we are in the world, especially right now. I am so guilty of it. I be at war with myself all the time. You have a right to proclaim what your fucking destiny is in this world. Spirit tells me all the time, bitch, we ain't lead you here for nothing. We ain't gave you the powerful ancestors you have for no motherfucking reason. You don't come from the line you come from for no fucking reason. Your father didn't give you the name he gave you for no reason. Your lineage isn't who it is for no reason. Oh, what did Mary Daly say the other day that we read about Smooth took me out? What she say? It about Smooth took me out. Chad, what she say? Even yesterday when she talked about, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Listen to what I'm telling you. She said the closer a woman is to hearing and speaking of the archetypes, the more accurately she senses the shakiness of the sublimed identities imposed on her. Huh? Shaky means marked by insecurity. Spirit is like, bitch, we ain't got no time for that. Insecure for what? Bitch, you are God. Marked by insecurity or instability. Instability? You have always been protected. You have always been guided. Even when your ass was out here unconscious and fucking up in every possible way, you came right through it. Why? How? Because we got you. Because we got shit for you to do. It's your time. It means likely to fall or be overthrown. Bitch, that ain't you. So you need to pull your shit together because we got shit for you to do. This is my ancestors. This is spirit. This is the goddess herself. Bitch, we got shit for you to do. We didn't, my ancestors, experience what we experienced, bleed the way we did, sweat the way we did, suffer the way we did, struggle the way we did, for our descendants of our line to be talking about instability, shakiness, uncertainty, imposter syndrome. You better pull your shit together and recognize who the fuck you hail from. Huh? Lacking in firmness of beliefs, principles, or allegiance, unsettled? That better not be you. You better get out here and get these rituals done. You better get out here and get these prayers done. If your ass got to be singing march and chants, you better do what you got to do to remember, to recall, to know why you are here, who you have behind you, what the fuck you stand up on, what props you up. What is it that draws people to you, Cassandra? How is it that there is no space that you can go into where people are not drawn to you? I'm telling you, I know people on every continent but one. I can meet you. Listen, Spirit's like, baby, that can't be you. You cannot be lacking in firmness of belief, principles, or allegiance. You can't be out here unsettled. That ain't for you. Unsound in health? Girl, you come from good stock. The fuck? You gonna live a long motherfucking time. The fuck? You need soundness of health because of what the fuck we got for you to do. She says that shakiness is imposed on, hoisted upon fucking women to do exactly what it has accomplished, is to make us insecure, is to make us unsteady in our speech. It is to make us uncertain. It is to convince us that which we want to see made real can never be. It is to demolish dreams. It is to stifle the ambitions and the dreams of our ancestors for us. That's what it is. And we ain't got no time for this. We ain't got no time for it. So even if motherfuckers call you crazy, you keep doing. Even if they say that you have lost your fucking mind, you keep doing. Even if they dredge up the history of your family that has been reduced to crazy, you keep doing. You keep doing. Every experience that you have had has contributed to who you are in this moment. And who you are in this moment is one of the many that represent the one who are the mothers giving birth to the new age in real goddamn time. We, because of you, Cassandra, we are Mary in the flesh, birthing the new age. This is who we are. This is who we are. She said, and I want you to be clear. I want you to be clear. I want you to understand and to be able to see clearly. Because when I prayed, I told y'all the first time I prayed, what did I pray? I said, look, if you real, if you real, a shoe, I don't need no symbols. I don't need no signs. If you real, then you know me. You know I'm a scientist. You feel me? This is how I'm talking to spirit. This is how I'm talking to a shoe. I say, if you know me, then you know I'm a scientist. I'm a realist. I need black and white. I don't need no signs. I need to interpret. Yes, Letitia. I don't need no signs. I need to interpret. I don't need no symbols that I need to go get read. I want you to make it plain. Spell it out to me like I'm 3 years old. Spell it out to me like I'm 3 years old. The first time I prayed after leaving the Christian church at 24 was, it was 10 years late. No, I was later than that. It was 12 years later, the first time I prayed. That was the prayer. Make it plain. Spell it out to me like I'm 3. I don't need no shit I need to interpret. Make it plain. And Spirit has done that every goddamn step of the way. I started following that tradition after that prayer, and in 12 hours, 3 incredible, unmistakable, undeniable things happened. That's how Spirit communicates to me. Crystal clear. She said, baby, I want you to remember. I want you to see. I want you to see the ways that the tapestry has been woven just for you to see. You, Cassandra, Faye, Floyd, born to the Fates, daughter of the Fates. You, born to a line of powerful women in your mother's line. Born to a line of powerful women in your father's line. I want you to see every time we are speaking to you. It is no accident. It is no coincidence. It wasn't even what you think is just some random choice to stop smoking crack and to go to medical school instead. That ain't random, boo. It is the weaving of the grand tapestry. It is. You choose a system of medicine completely foreign and alien to you. I had never had an acupuncture treatment before I decided to go to acupuncture school. Never. Not one time. Not one time. My mentor was an acupuncturist. I was going to school to study herbs. I was going to go be a naturopathist. I was going to be a naturopathic physician. He was like, don't do that bullshit. Go to acupuncture school. I was like, acupuncture school? I was taking Qigong and Tai Chi from him. That's how I knew him. And he became my mentor. He's like, fuck that bullshit. He was like, go to acupuncture school and then you can do all the things. That's what he said. I had never had acupuncture one time before he told me that. And I said, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to go to acupuncture school. She said, baby, that ain't no accident. Everybody that has come into your life has been purposeful. You have something to do. And you needed all the variety of peoples that you have come into contact with, Cassandra. You did. You do. You need to be able to speak a language you need to be able to speak a language which with everyone can communicate to you and you to them. Everybody needs to be able to hear. I'm gonna fuck y'all up later because I didn't intend to do this again. But I'm gonna fuck y'all up later when I tell y'all the story about a dream that I had I named it, I wrote it. I actually put it in my Facebook notes when it happened and can't retrieve my damn Facebook notes. I called it the Dream of 13. It was a powerful dream. And the sequence of events that happened directly after 5 days afterwards. You understand? This is how Spirit speaks to me. This is how Spirit communicates to me. And it is for a reason. It is not to it's not, man. It's not hierarchical. It's not to set myself above or to set myself apart from. It is to assist in the grand reclamation of our information, of our memory, of our magic, of our power. I don't take the shit lightly when I say we are one. I don't. I do not take it lightly. We are the beautiful, unbelievable, extraordinary, peculiar personifications of the one, numbered in the billions. That's all. It is the same. It is the same. We are the 8 billion unique, peculiar, necessary parts of the one. Of the one. We are her and she is us. Of the one. And so she was like, bitch, you need to practice 5 elements theory because it is going to demystify everything. Not just magic, not just health, not just medicine. Nope. 5 elements partnered with yin yang theory is going to teach you everything about the universe. And you will be able to see it in everything, and in every place, and in everyone. This is Venus. This is Ishtar. This is Ayana. This is Isis. But even more than that, they are the one too. The fragmentations of the goddess into different, quote, archetypes. This is what she's talking about. How archetypes is a weapon created by men in power to dissect and force into isolation God from herself. God from herself. Oya, Kali, Pele, Sekhmet, Bastet. Listen, Hecate, I just talked to y'all for a long time last week about Hecate. People got an attitude because Hecate is European. Hecate is the goddess. Hecate is a part of the one. She is. You understand? They are one. Peculiar personifications of parts of the one. Just like we are peculiar personifications of the one. That's what it means to say that we are one. Not some bullshit that is meant to pacify us and shut us up in our expressions of outrage. That's not what it is. We all bleed red. We're all one. I don't see color. That ain't what I'm talking about. We are all a part of the one. We are all necessary, peculiar personifications of the one. To see ourselves apart from her. Child, what does this book say? Remember the great cosmic mother? This book is called The Search for Oneness. The Search for Oneness. This was published in 72, I think. Let's see when this was published. Let's see. No, it was initially published in 1967. 1967. The Search for Oneness. A bunch of psychologists developing the hypothesis that what plagues mankind in every possible way is the severing from mankind from his mother. This is psychology. This is a compilation of a study that was done. And what if we could reconnect, or if we could reestablish the connection between the image of the mother and our psychological patients, our schizophrenics, our addicts and shit? What if we could somehow reestablish their connection, reconnect that severing from the image of the mother? Can we? Yes. Letitia be listening. You feel me? Letitia be listening, baby. She be out here taking notes, okay? They say, I wonder if we could somehow figure out a way to reestablish this severed connection that all human beings suffer. This separation, this severing of our connection with the mother. Would this make their life better? Would this make them better? And so they did a funded scientific study, baby, to affirm their hypothesis that they're schizophrenics, that they're addicts of all kinds, emotional addicts and substance addicts, those of all kinds of various psychological issues transformed through subliminal messaging with a singular message, subliminally imparted on their subconscious and conscious mind. And the message was simple. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. So you're reading on the screen here, Letitia says, Mommy and I are one, which we've talked about this a lot, right? Because it's in the book, The Great Cosmic Mother, this research that was done in 1967. They know. You understand? The state knows what will make you well. That's why they attack the image of women. That's why the assault is so heavy on women. They know, and they knew in 1967 when the results of the study was published. You understand? All they did for 6 weeks was implant the message subliminally. The participants didn't know. Subliminally impart the message, splicing movies with black and white on the screen. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Through popular movies and showed them to them. All they thought they was doing was coming to watch a movie every day. Every day, every movie that they were being shown had been spliced with mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. They followed the subjects for 20 years. Some of them, their transformations were so radical that they never relapsed. There was like 1% relapse in the test group. 1%? They know. That's why reality TV. That's why these constant images of the mother defamed, defaced, shamed all over the place. They know what makes you ill. They know what makes you sick. And they know also what the solution, what the remedy for that illness is. And they keep you far from it. I'm telling you this because, baby, when I read this study, The Search for Oneness, there were things I had not gotten into yet, things I had not touched on yet, things that, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't until this summer that I read to you guys. What did I read to you guys this summer? The Sibyls, the theft of African prophet, the Roman Catholic Church. And when she talked about the prophetesses of Mami Wata and the theft of African prophecy by the Roman Catholic Church, right? I knew Mami Wata, but I never really dug deep into that aspect of personification of the goddess. Like, I acknowledged her. I've been making jewelry of Mami Wata for years. You can go on my Etsy page, Daughter of the Fates, and see my Mami Wata jewelry. So I've been making Mami Wata jewelry for years, but I never did any kind of I never had a deep spiritual relationship, direct connection with Mami Wata in that personification because I was a practitioner of Ifa. So it was Yemaya, it was Oshun, it was Oya. That was my connection to the water deities, to the water spirits. You feel me? And then fast forward all these years, because I had been a devotee for 13 years. You feel me? So fast forward all these years, I read the Sibyls, and I will forever shout out Carlotta, because every time I was reading the Great Cosmic Mother, she's like, you got to read Mama Zogba, baby. You got to read the Sibyls. You got to read the Sibyls. You got to read the Sibyls. It's going to make shit so much clearer. And she was not lying. So I give her props every time I talk about the Sibyls, because she was the one that was kicking my ass on the regular. You got to read the Sibyls. You got to read the Sibyls. I know this book is amazing and it's everything, but you got to read the Sibyls. I read the Sibyls, and it's talking about the Sibyls being prophetesses of Mami Wata all over the Mediterranean, all over Africa, all over Europe. That Mami Wata was the entity through which these Sibyls communicated her will in the world. That was it, right? And everybody complied. They say men came from all over, from Asia, from all over, traveled for days and months to sit at the feet of a Sibyl to hear the will of Mami Wata and how it was going to impact their lives, right? So I'm like, damn, this is powerful, this is powerful, this is powerful. Then it occurred to me, that when these, I think it was 2 or 3 scientists, when these motherfuckers right here came up with a hypothesis in 1967, it was 3 scientists. All males, all Jews, because y'all know I got a theory about that. These 3 Jewish doctors come up all random like with a hypothesis. I wonder if we reconnect the severed relationship between human beings and the mother, the image of the mother, would that make them well? Would that restore them? Huh? So they do the study. And then they come up with all these different scenarios. Because they didn't just test Mommy and I are one. They tested different lines. Father and I are one. Mommy and I are 2. They had all different types of language that they used to see what the impact was going to be. And the only one that was permanently impactful was Mommy and I are one. So I was like, damn, this is powerful. Now, I read The Great Cosmic Mother the first time in 2015. You feel me? And that always stood out. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. I used to say it to myself as a meditation child, because I was like, if this is real, I need to find a way to put this in everything that I do. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. That's what got me on this whole thing about honoring and recognizing my mother, the one that gave birth to me, as God. I say, when I do a presentation, I always open with, what? I want to thank God, known as Jacqueline Jeanette Futch, for saying yes to my life when she could have said no. For without her, I would be unable to fill my personal destiny in this life. That's my prayer to my mama, who is God, right? So I was like, this is powerful. Child, mommy and I are one, right? So that's what I've been on for some years now. And then I read the Sibyls. And Mommy Wata comes back into my life as a conscious thing now. You know what I'm saying? Not just, I love her image, and so I put her on jewelry, but I haven't done a real walk with her as Mommy Wata as an entity, but still her through the personifications of other female deities, right? Then it occurred to me while reading the Sibyls, child, we're going to have a conversation about the Jewish, because see, the book, the Sibyls, talks about the takeover of African prophecy by the Roman Catholic Church. She only mildly touches on in that book. See, I still have to get the other books. You understand? But she only touches on lightly in that book the role that Hebrews or the Jews played in this whole contest to steal prophecy from the Sibyls. She only talks about it lightly. But what we know as the Sibylline oracles was what were the prophecies of the Sibyls stolen and distorted by Hebrews, by Jews. That's what the Sibylline oracles are, right? And those Sibylline oracles are the origin of those three texts that exist right now: the Quran, the Torah, and the fucking Bible. So when I make a distinction that 3 Jewish doctors wrote this study, I make that distinction for a reason. That reason we're going to have to talk about later, because I don't think it was random. I don't think they were just sitting around one day and was like, we got all these psychological patients. You understand what I'm saying? We got some schizophrenics up in this joint. You feel me? We got some gamblers up in this joint. You feel me? I wonder what makes them sick. Huh? I wonder if do they just sit around and say, what if we like energetically, subliminally attempt to reconnect them to the mother? Would that make a difference? Do you think they just randomly came up with that hypothesis? This is what I understood when I read the Sibyls, recalling this book, recalling the impact of the statement, mommy and I are one. Measurable, scientifically observed, reproduced studies of the impact of a single subliminal message planted in the subconscious of broken humans. Mommy and I are one. And then I read the Sibyls. And this is what I heard. This is what I saw. And that's why I am saying we also have to talk about how Jews, along with Catholics, have been the primary custodians of stolen oracles, used for their own benefit in opposition to us. This is what I saw. Can y'all see that, or is it backwards? Can y'all see that, or is it backwards? It looks backwards for me. So can y'all see it? Not mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Do y'all hear me? Y'all didn't find that as deep as I did. This study, done in 1967, took ancient understanding of the oneness of us with the mother, that was revered by all on earth. Recognizing that our severing from the one is what has made us ill. And I wonder if we reconnected that, would it make people better? And then followed them for 20 years to say yes. The reconnection to us seeing ourselves as the one, not separate from her, not separate from her. And then what does the great cosmic mother say? The whole process was to energetically, spiritually, psychologically break our ties with the mother, sever our ties with the mother. She's saying it right here, even as she talks about Mary. They had to keep Mary because the early Christians was like, how you gonna get rid of Mary? Like Jesus wouldn't even be if it wasn't for Mary. And so they had to change the image. What did she say? They had to mold her and shape her and craft her into something that becomes a decoy that aids in the facilitation of the extraction of female power by the church. Yo, I'm gonna read just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna get up off of here. Oh, man. To understand the weakened charge of the arch image, it is helpful to think of the magic of Christmas trees as remnants of the elemental power of living trees. The symbolism of Christmas trees is derived from the ancient tree of life, the sacred tree, symbol of the goddess. Christmas trees, however, which are used to celebrate the birth of a baby god, are dead. Indeed, they have been killed, millions of them, precisely in order to serve as Christmas trees. Even after having been cut down, dragged indoors, and decorated, they still have a certain magic. And this is derived from the fact that they were alive and still look, feel, and even smell alive. They are not mere copies of real trees, rather. They have been living trees, and their charge is related to the fact that they carry the past when they are alive into the present. Oh my God. Oh my God. Child, listen, y'all ain't walking. That is, they evoke memories of living trees. As in the case of the Christmas trees, then the arch image has had metaphoric power because she is not merely a copy, but rather a remnant of what was once alive, and thus evokes memories of what had been alive. That is the goddess symbol in women's consciousness. The arch image then can evoke memories of self-affirming being of women. Both the dilemma and the strategy of the patriarchs then have to do with the maintenance and control of women's elemental memories, our deep memories that connect us with the elements and with our own elemental force. In order to destroy both women and wild nature, all the elements, patriarchal males have chosen the strategy of maintaining these as the living dead. Oh my God. The living dead. In order to maintain life, even in this degraded and comatose state, they have used the strategy of maintaining an officially approved and controllable conduit to elemental memory. Of course, if a significant cognitive minority of women ever should remember elemental powers and our connections with the elements, the most powerful threat to the patriarchal system and to its nature-killing offshoots, such as the buildup of nuclear weapons, would be unleashed. Therefore, the fathers have recognized memory as their enemy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ooh, listen. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen, y'all ain't hear that last statement. Oh my God. Listen. Oh, shit. Of course, if a significant cognitive minority of women ever should remember elemental powers in our connections with the elements, the most powerful threat to the patriarchal system and to its nature-killing offshoots, such as the buildup of nuclear weapons, would be unleashed. Therefore, the fathers have recognized memory as their enemy, and they have worked to destroy its vestiges in women. Let me tell you something. Now, this is my doctor side talking to you. This is my left brain medical school side talking to you. Okay? There was a practice that was common in nursing homes up until the early 2000s. Okay? This practice was daily vitamin B12 injections in nursing homes. Okay? Nursing homes and assisted living facilities for the aging population. The B12 is known to slow and even prevent the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. It cost literally, at that time, they were saying it was an estimate of 5 cents a shot to the patients. So it wasn't a lot of overhead, didn't take a lot of effort. It's not intravenous, it's intralipid or intrafat injections. So it had been common practice for many, many, many years. But vitamin B12 injections specifically to slow and even prevent the onset of dementia in the aging population. Okay. Fast forward, I think it was 2005, when the government said it was too expensive, 5 cents a shot, too expensive to be giving old people vitamin B12 shots every day. And so the insurance companies would no longer cover its regular administration in the aging population. And they said that within a year, all over the country, despite race, despite economic status, the rates of dementia and Alzheimer's skyrocketed within a year of this policy being in place, being implemented. That's the first thing I thought about when I read this last sentence. The fathers have recognized memory as the enemy. Memory as the enemy. And they have worked to destroy its vestiges in women. Y'all ain't here. In a fascinating analysis of memory and childhood amnesia, Ernest Satchel observes that an ambivalent attitude toward memory has accompanied the history of man. Oh my God. Shit. Oh my God. He observes the profound fascination of memory, of past experience, and the double aspect of this fascination. Its irresistible lure into the past with its promise of happiness and pleasure, and its threat to this kind of activity, planning, and purposeful thought and behavior encouraged by modern Western civilization. Oh my God. Oh my God. Could this be what we are calling the dumbing down of society? It's not the dumbing down of the society. It is the forceful forgetfulness of society as a political weapon, as a political strategy to prevent women from recalling. Satchel does not consider the possibility that gynocentric memory, pre-patriarchal memory, is at issue. Nor does he note that the purposeful thought and behavior encouraged by Western civilization, which leads directly to nuclear holocaust, is purposeless. Nevertheless, the threat posed by deep memory is at least acknowledged. Now the question arises, just who could awaken these fascinating memories that are so threatening to the activity and planning of genocidal, biocidal Western civilization? I suggest that these potential catalysts are strong, woman-identified women, and that patriarchy requires that these be tokenized as the Catholic fathers have tokenized the arch image, or that they be killed as the Protestant fathers have killed the arch image, or of course both in due time. For those who are still alive, the issue now is to focus upon our memory as it relates to the dilemma and the strategy of the fathers. There is good reason to think that in the Middle Ages and during the period of the Protestant Reformation, the arch image continued to stir up dangerously deep memories in women of primal powers, memories resulting in defiant, deviant actions. Without the real existence of such women, the witch craze would be inexplicable. Some strong women were tokenized, at least after their deaths. Others were burned at the stake, or if they lived in the British Isles, hanged. The psychic and healing powers of these women, the witches, their active understanding of the elements which made them potent as scholars, advisors, and healers, would have increased the translucency of the arch image. This spiraling of elemental active potency was a menace to the priestly caste. For surely the members of that caste have been on some level aware of their own derivative identity from priestesses and of the derivative identity of their god from the goddess. Depending upon drained female energy and upon the ruses that hid and continue to hide this discrepancy, the priests were and are essentially impotent, disconnected from nature, and obviously unable to heal, that is, to regenerate physical, spiritual wholeness. They have been capable only of causing further fragmentation. God damn. It was therefore natural, that is, fittingly unnatural, that they created the witch craze in a blaze of archetypal, patriarchal creativity. Their reactive battle and babble against female power has continued to this very day. The rancer of impotent priests has been analyzed by Nietzsche. Of course, that philosopher did not name the targets of priestly rancer, which is called resentment, namely women and nature, the true enemies of the priestly caste. For Nietzsche himself, despite his deviance, participated by reason of his sex in the privileges of the priest. Yet, his insights are worth pondering. He wrote, quote, as is well known, the priests are the most evil enemies. But why? Because they are the most impotent. It is because of their impotence that in them hatred grows to monstrous and uncanny proportions, to the most spiritual and poisonous kind of hatred. The truly great haters in world history have always been priests. God damn. Oh my God. Likewise, the most ingenuous haters, other kinds of spirit, hardly come into consideration when compared with the spirit of priestly vengefulness. Oh my God. Fuck. End quote. God damn. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yo. She makes a note down at the bottom that I want to read. She says, I am not restricting the use of the word priest here to Christian priests in service of the official church. The term extends here to include priests of all patriarchal traditions. All patriarchal religions and traditions, such as Buddhism, Hinduism, etc. Moreover, since patriarchy is the religion imposed upon the entire planet, the term priest here applied to those males who are officially authorized members of all male-made hierarchies with holy orders to perform sacrificial, ritualistic, mediatorial, interpretive, or ministerial functions of the professions of patriarchy. For example, medicine, war, politics, law, and nuclear science. Clearly, I'm not endorsing, let's see. Okay, so this is another statement that she's making. She says, clearly, I'm not endorsing Nietzsche's anti-Semitism. I am using his partial insights concerning priesthoods in my context of understanding, not his. Jewish and Christian priesthoods, Buddhist and Hindu priesthoods, medical and military priesthoods, and all priesthoods and service of phallocracy are variant forms of the same goddamn fraternity. Woo! Listen. I'm gonna stop here. This too much. Yo, listen. Let me tell y'all about Mary Daly, baby. Woo, child, let me tell y'all about Mary Daly. This book is everything. Are y'all enjoying this book? Let me see your hands up. Let me see a shout out. Are y'all enjoying this book? Like, I'm having whole ass moments. I'm in ceremony reading this book, baby. Child, I'm having a whole goddamn experience in this book. Yup. I said, yup. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Letitia, yes, baby. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Well, that's all I'm gonna read for tonight. Yes, baby. Yes. Dura Allah. Yes. Baby. This was medicine. You feel me? Baby. This is medicine. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it out for the night. I'm still beside myself, man. Last night I was up in here. Listen, I was undone last night. I was undone. Equally undone tonight. Yeah. I appreciate you all. I appreciate those of you who stayed to the end, tuned in to the end. We're not even halfway through the book, so this is going to be our mission for some time. You feel me? This is going to be, let's see. We've been reading this book since last Thursday, I think. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, last Thursday, I think, is when we started reading the book. We might be through with this book, I would say probably in 2 weeks. If I can be disciplined, that's what I'm gonna try. I do not deny the one. I do not object to intervention by her. Okay? I don't. So sometimes some shit need to be said. However, I will make a commitment to at least attempt to exhibit a minute level of discipline in the reading from now on, so we can actually make it through the book. And then maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a commitment to try. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a commitment to try. Okay, because this book will eventually be the what's the word I'm looking for? The subject of our next book club. I'm saying book club, but last week I said eventually I'm gonna start doing Wednesday night Zoom calls. I will still broadcast these. I don't think I can simulcast while doing Zoom. I would have to get another laptop or something, I think, to do that. But I don't think I can simulcast. So instead, so those of you that are tuning in from IG, so on Wednesday nights when I do the Zoom call, think that's what I'm going to do. When I do the Zoom call, which is going to be the study of Pure Lust, where it's interactive and y'all can ask questions and y'all can make comments and shit, I will formulate questions that I will, that I will post with that Zoom link, right, that you can go over or whatever. This will be the subject of our Wednesday night study group. Somebody suggested, like, we're the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. We should have something like a Bible study or something like that, on Wednesday nights. And she was saying she missed the Zoom calls that we used to do for the Great Cosmic Mother as the book club. But now that we're officially the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, we'll continue to do that on Wednesday nights as our Bible study. And we'll just have different Bibles. You understand? We'll go through Pure Lust. Our main book, our main Bible is the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. Our next two are the Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets and the Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects by Barbara Walker. This is added quickly to the list, Pure Lust by Mary Daly. We still have 2 more books by Mary Daly that we must eventually get to. And I'll just go ahead and show them to you so you can start your own personal list, because this is the shit that we're going to be going through. Monica Zhu, who is the illustrator of the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. So she has her own book. I think this was the last book she wrote, actually. Oh, no, I might be wrong, because I have all of her books too after I bought the Great Cosmic Mother. This one, yeah, okay, I think this might be the last book, and maybe one more after this. But this one is called The New Age and Armageddon. This was written in 1992. We've got the church. Oh, let me show that to people over here too. The Monica Zhu, New Age and Armageddon. This was written in 1992. This is the co-author, the illustrator of the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. We also have another book by Mary Daly that we probably going to get on top of as soon as we finish Pure Lust, called The Church and the Second Sex. The Church and the Second Sex. This is also by Mary Daly. I bought all her shit. As soon as I read her sections in the Great Cosmic Mother, referenced in the Great Cosmic Mother, I went and bought all her stuff. The Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Women's Liberation by Mary Daly. Beyond God the Father and Toward a Philosophy of Women's Liberation. And also by Mary Daly is Gyne Ecology, the Meta-Ethics of Radical Feminism. Gyne Ecology, the Meta-Ethical, the Meta-Ethics of Radical Feminism. I'm reading that backwards. That's why I'm stumbling. You understand? So also another book that I want you guys to add to your list, because I'm just going to tell you, we about to kick this shit into overdrive. We got another one that I was telling y'all about last week that I interviewed the author of this book when I was doing the radio show, Colonialism is Bad for Your Health. This is called Medical Revolutionaries. What's the subtitle? The Enslaved Healers of the 18th Century Santo Domingue. This book is about how most of the famous revolutionaries of anti-slavery, anti-colonial revolutions in Santo Domingue were led by healers, by African healers, because she said the African healers had more political influence than anybody else among the enslaved population. This book is gangster. It is awesome. Okay, Medical Revolutionaries. We gonna get into that. You feel me? Yeah. There's some other stuff that I want to read, but those are going to be like priority over the next few months. So it is, Letitia. It is. And Letitia says she's looking forward to Beyond God the Father. So I haven't read any of those. Those ones. What is it? Gynecology, Beyond God the Father, The Church and the Second Sex, and The New Age and Armageddon. I haven't read any of those. Like I said, I went and bought all the books that Barbara Moore referenced in The Great Cosmic Mother. I think I have almost all but a couple off her list of references. I went and bought them all. And so we're going to go through those together. This is going to be, this is going to be what temple service looks like for us for some time. You feel me? Okay, so that's it. That's all I got for you. Start looking forward this Sunday. Like I said, I should know something by tomorrow. This Sunday, I am hoping to have our building a physical location for which we will be conducting temple services for the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. So keep your fingers crossed. You understand all that. And we're going to see if we have access to that building this Sunday. Also, that's it. I got some shit in the works. I'm going to try to make an announcement about those things in the next couple of weeks as time is like moving at a rapid pace. So I will keep y'all posted on that. And in the meantime, Letitia, girl, you make this so much fun. You are too funny. Let's see. Do you have The Great Black Mama? No, I don't. By Dr. Salsa. Okay, so I'm going to have to write that down. Now y'all are always welcome to, I got to figure out if I can make my Amazon wish list like an open one. Y'all are always welcome to go right on to my Amazon wish list, you feel me, and purchase any of the 250 books that I have in my wish list. You understand? So I'm going to add this Great Black Mama to my wish list, you feel me? But y'all, feel completely welcome. To ship me a book. You feel me? I'm just putting that out there. Let's see. The Great Black Mother. Okay. All right. So I am going to go. I am hungry and I am tired. And I am going to go get a cocktail somewhere, my friendly neighborhood bar. I'm going to go get a beverage and something delicious to eat. I need some vegetables. Feel me? So I appreciate you. Love you all. Want to encourage you. Like, share, subscribe. Go to my YouTube page. Watch things. Tag people in things. Share those things that move you with people. Also, I would encourage you to go to my Etsy store, which is DaughterOfTheFates. .etsy.com. DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. When you support my Etsy store, you are supporting my life. When you are supporting my life, you are supporting the work of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. All the things happening in my life are centered towards one goal, one aspiration, that is to set this shit off, to free up enough time here for me to be clear in how the unfolding of this new thing is. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com, YouTube at DaughterOfTheFates. My Facebook is Cassandra-Floyd. My IG is daughter_of_the_fates. My medical IG is release.heart.center. You feel me? Okay. My TikTok is DaughterOfTheFates. You feel me? Go to my shit. Help spread my shit. You feel me? Make the clips. Make the shorts. That's it. I appreciate you all. Please keep my family in your prayers. My mother, my daughter, my grandmother, my grandson. Keep them in your prayers. Last 24 hours have been kind of crazy with my peoples, you feel me, with my family. For those of you who tuned in late, my daughter was in a car accident with my granddaughter. My mother is having some pretty serious health issues. So just, I'm going to post their names, and this shout out from Letitia with their names in it. So just speak their names for me. Jacqueline, Morgan, and Kalani. Speak their names for me with powerful affirmations, prayers of health and wellness, protection, and guidance. You understand? And my prayer for all of you is protection, guidance, abundance, clarity, being able to hear the whisper of the mother in your ear, and having and moving with the confidence that she attempts to afford you to make this shit pop. This is our work. This is our work. It is to support one another. It is to raise each other up. You understand? It is to encourage the most outrageous, audacious, and radical being that we can be. I wish this for you all. I wish this for my family. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the continued reading, for those of you who joined late, to the book Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. All right. Good night, you guys. The words to this song may be wrong. We don't high. High is the moon. We hope you like high. High is the moon. Somewhere there's music, I'll play the tune. Somewhere is heaven and a moon. There is no moon above where love is far away too, till it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's heaven is where you are. Somewhere there's music, how near, how far. The darkest night would shine if you would come to me soon. Until you will, I'd still my heart. How high the moon. Dooby dooby doo. Dooby 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 doo. Dooby dooby doo. Dooby 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 doo. Dooby down 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 buddy. Dooby 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 doo. Somewhere there's heaven is where you are. Somewhere there's music, out near or far. And darkest night would shine if you would come to me soon. Until your will, I still my heart, how I move. I try to think that love is not around, but it's uncomfortably near. Oh, my old heart aching in the ground because my angel eyes sing tears. Angel eyes, that old devil said, they grow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love's misspent? I spent with angel eyes tonight. So drink up, all you people. Order anything you see. Have fun, you happy people. The laughs and the jokes on me. Pardon me, but I gotta run. The facts uncommonly clear. Gotta find who's now number one, because my angel eyes, oh, where is my angel eyes? Excuse me while I disappear, angel. Here am I, patiently waiting, hoping, longing for how I am, for the warm love.